Hello, welcome back. Before we get started, don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe for more EV content. So 2026 has officially began and it stands to be an iconic year for electric vehicles. I know that's been said before, but this year we really mean it. I think most importantly, we're not just getting more EVs, but we're getting better EVs, we're getting cheaper EVs, we're getting a more diverse range of EVs at better prices for consumers all around the world. So in this video, we're just going to talk about some of the many EVs that we're going to get to see coming out this year. From China, from Japan, from America, from Europe, we're in for a treat. And we had to keep the list quite short, but if there's any you think that we missed which you are looking forward to, make sure you let us know in the comments. If you want to see a comparison video with the Xpeng P7 Plus featured in this video and the next P7, make sure you subscribe. Video dropping soon. So let's get into it. So let's begin with Volkswagen. So the Volkswagen ID.Polo is on the horizon. The Volkswagen Group sold close to 1 million EVs last year, and the ID.Polo hopefully will allow them to keep the momentum going. A compact hatchback just over 4 meters long, wider stance, longer wheelbase, lots of practicality, lots of interior space. This is what we have been waiting for from Volkswagen, following the Golfs, the Polos of the past. Up to 450 kilometers of range, but most importantly, a price starting at around 25,000 euros. So like I said, cheaper options, better options. Next, let's move on to something completely different, which is Slate Auto's truck. Backed by Jeff Bezos, Slate isn't chasing performance or flashy tech. Instead, it's asking a very simple question about EVs, which is what happens if we make EVs super simple? They take you from A to B, no super flashy tech or autonomous driving, just the basics. The base version is literally called the blank slate. No infotainment, manual windows, your smartphone is the screen, which for a lot of people, they use their smartphone for navigation anyway. However, you will be able to customize it with over 100 accessories, including kits to turn it into a 5-seat SUV. Rear-wheel drive, 385 kilometers of range. Target price around $25,000. That is the dream price. Let's see if it can be released at that price. Okay, let's go back to Europe and let's talk about the BMW iX3. There are a lot of expectations around this car, and so far, people have been very impressed by what they have seen. This one is a big one for BMW, not just another SUV, it's the start of a new generation of vehicles built on their Neue Klasse. We have good performance, good range, and I think for the premium buyers in Europe, I think this should be among their top choices if they're looking for an electric vehicle. This is BMW getting very serious. They got the warning shots from the Chinese brands, and now they have brought something to market which could definitely compete. Okay, let's stay in Europe. Well, actually maybe go to China and talk about this smart #2, which is on the horizon. So the smart brand was kind of like brought back from the dead as a JV between Geely and the Mercedes-Benz. But a couple of quite generic, to be honest, cars, not bad cars, just not really smart cars, if you ask me. Everyone has been waiting for the rebirth of the Smart Fortwo, which was such an icon back in the day, and it makes so much sense to make this as an electric car. Small, city runaround, smaller battery, keep it cheap, 2-seater. I mean, the more I talk about it, the more amazing it sounds. So after 30 years, Smart is actually bringing the #2, which is kind of like the rebirth of something similar to the Smart Fortwo. So a modern 2-seater EV built for urban life, agile, techy, and compact. So no massive ranges, but most importantly, fun for driving around the city. So good turning circles, very safe, and very smart. I'm really happy to see Smart finally bringing this car to the market. Great stuff from Smart. Let's talk very quickly about Nissan. The Nissan Leaf is coming. So the Nissan Leaf was, of course, one of the OGs in the EV movement. It showed the possibilities of production EVs, of consumer EVs. It paved the way for a lot of the EVs we see today. but it's no longer a quirky hatch. It's actually a compact electric SUV now, and to be honest, the compact SUVs are the ones which sell units. So up to 160 kilowatts of power, decent sized batteries. It's not going to blow anyone's mind with the amount of tech in there. It's just clean, modern, couple of displays and safety tech, and most importantly starting at under $30,000. Once again, these price points are getting very, very good. Okay, we're going to have to talk a bit about China, of course. It's quite hard to keep track of all the Chinese EVs that are going around the world, but one brand which is doing very well and that you should keep an eye on is Leapmotor, which is of course backed by Stellantis. And the vehicle which is coming to Europe soon is the Lafa5, probably known as the B05 in European markets. The China vehicle spec is up to 605 kilometers of COTC range, rear single motor, kind of cheap, kind of practical, spacious interior. The pricing in China is very aggressive. The entry model starts at under 100,000 yuan. I'll get the conversions on screen of that, but let's just say it could come to Europe at a very, very competitive price. The design also feels very European. It reminds me of some of those kind of like larger hatchbacks that we have seen from European brands in the past. And for that reason, I think the European consumers may really, really like this car. So let's move to the other end of China and we'll talk about the Zeekr 8X. So Zeekr kind of has two ends of their products. They have the kind of 7X, they have the 007, the G007 GT, and at the other end, they have the ultra luxurious kind of like executive rich people vehicle. So they have the 9X, they have the 009, and now they're going to bring in the 8X, which is just going to be a smaller version of a 9X, perhaps closer, obviously, to the 7X. So kind of like take the 7X and the 9X and bring them together, and this is what you will get. Probably be launched in China in the next couple of months, probably at the Beijing Auto Show actually. So 2-litre engine and a massive 70 kilowatt hour battery. Over 5.1 meters and 5 or 6 seats depending on which layout you go for. Roof-mounted LiDAR, high levels of driver assistance. While everyone has been busy and distracted talking about Jaguar's rebrand and the launch of its 00 vehicle, the Range Rover Electric has been quietly building some serious hype. But finally, we're finding a little bit more about this. So a battery of 117 kilowatt hours, 540 horsepower, 480 kilometers of range and fast charging. The question is, will these pure electric offerings be something that their customer base wants to buy? Another important addition to the American market would be the 2027 Chevrolet Bolt. So after a 4-year break, Chevy's most affordable EV returns, and this time could be the best iteration yet. Familiar, compact, slightly SUV-like shape, but underneath it's been updated. Power comes from a 157 kilowatt front-mounted motor, smooth performance, a range of around 410 kilometers, so great for commuting and for city driving. The big update is in charging. So the new Bolt now gets a native NACS port, meaning direct access to Tesla superchargers. But most importantly, a starting price of around $29,000 makes it the cheapest EV on sale in the US, with an even cheaper version coming later. Okay, so there you go, just some of the great EV options that will be coming to market this year, depending on where you might be in the world. Which one of these are you looking forward to? And of course, tell me, did I miss any big ones out? Make sure you let us know in the comments below. So more choice, cheaper options, and EVs with some real character as well. Which EV are you most excited about? Make sure to give us a like and a subscribe. I'll see you next time.